Hello everyone. Today we are going to be working on our breath and just using this yoga practice to get you comfortable and synced with your breath, and then taking our breathing and matching your breath with your movement. So a lot of times in our hustle and bustle of our daily activity, stress happens, worry happens, nervousness happens. All these negative emotions actually cause us to have stress. And when we're stressed, our breath, our breathing patterns tend to increase in speed. And this is actually robbing years from our lives. And so for the busy-minded person, for that individual who has a hard time slowing down, I'm going to invite you to come along this journey with me today and just practice breathing. And through it, this is probably a intermediate beginner type level, so all are welcome. And we're just bringing it back to the basics, taking yoga for what it is, mind, body, and spiritual connection, and really just using our breath to fuel us, to power us through the movements. So if you've never done anything like this, different breathing exercise or anything, welcome. You'll actually start to feel a lot better. You'll have more energy and you'll be happier just from doing breathing exercises. So while we're breathing, you want to focus on not just breathing into the chest, but you actually want to expand through the belly and take a full breath that way. So I'm going to encourage you to practice full belly breathing and not the shallow, quick, rapid breath, but a deep breath, expanding the lungs, expanding the belly, and fueling oxygen to our brain, our heart, and all the other tissues. So we're going to get started in a comfortable seat. Throw on something comfortable. We're going to be moving around here. And then if you don't have a yoga mat, that's okay. You can just use a blanket if you're on, or whatever else. You can just use it without it actually completely. So it's you. So in a nice comfortable seated position, you can be in lotus position, you can be in easy pose here. It doesn't matter, whatever you find to be the most comfortable. But I am going to challenge you, whatever feels normal with one leg in front. If that's the seat you chose, switch it up, put the other leg in front. It's going to feel a little bit weird, but that's okay. And we're just going to start. Go ahead and take the extra cushion that you may be sitting up and out of the way, so you're seated right on your hip bones, so you can actually feel that connection with the floor. And then palms are just going to face up, and we're going to start by doing a cat-cow in a seated position. So we're just going to inhale, and we're going to open up through the chest, and so we're bringing our heart forward, and our skull is going to come forward, and then we're going to exhale, and we're going to cave, dropping our heart back. And inhale, bringing the heart space forward, reaching the skull forward and back. And exhale, sinking your heart back into that space, separating the shoulder blades. And one more time, just like that, sink the breath, inhale, heart comes forward, and exhale, comes back. And now I just want you to move through those two movements. And just keep doing it until you find center. So you're going to slowly decrease the angle that you do that forward cat position, and decrease the angle that you're doing the cow, and just slowly come back to a center position. One where you're not stretching forward, but you're not exactly pressing back. So you should feel like you're nice and not necessarily open where you're pulling or compressing on the spine. You should just feel like you're comfortably seated. Your shoulder blades are down and back. Your heart space is open. It just found center by going forward and back and finding its own center space. It found its own equilibrium that way. And in this nice comfortable seat, we're going to take some deep breaths here. We're at our center. Our base is in contact with the ground. And you can close your eyes here if you'd like to, or you can just take a steady gaze with your eyes forward. And we're just going to practice a couple ujjayi breathing breaths. So you're just going to inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. And while you do this, you're going to constrict through the back of your throat. So you'll hear like a sound while you do it. And I want you to inhale for 3 and exhale for 6. Inhale for 3. Exhale for 6. This time, inhale for 4. Exhale for 8. One more time. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 8. Great job. So that ujjayi breathing just helps slow the heart rate, really focuses on expanding the lungs, and it actually has a calming effect on the body. So just that breath alone. We're practicing that 1 to 2 ratio, 1 count inhale to 2 count exhalation, which drives the extra oxygen, that still carbon dioxide that we're holding on to, out of the body. So when we breathe, we inhale, we can actually take in some good, fresh, clean oxygen. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I want you to hinge forward at the hips. The sit bones are still in contact with the floor. You're going to hinge forward at the hips. Hands can come right to the ground or to the knees, whatever feels more comfortable. And you're just going to surrender, so relax your body. And we're going to start to roll all the way around to the side, creating a circle. Inhaling, opening up, and exhaling as we fold forward. Inhale, opening the head, neck, chest up, and exhale as we fold forward. And we're going to reverse the circle. Inhaling, going up, and exhaling forward. Inhaling up, exhale. And the whole time we do this, I'm going to keep cueing the breathing pattern so you can stay present, stay focused with your breath. Exhale, folding forward. Great job. This time, we're going to press our hands against the ground. And so we're getting leverage from the floor. We're getting leverage from the ground. We're going to press up as we inhale, rolling up as if we're a wave. And then inhaling our arms all the way up to the top position. And then we're going to exhale and we're going to roll ourselves back down to the ground. One more time, think like one vertebrae at a time, but think of like zipping up through the legs, so you're tightening up through the pelvic floor. We're going to inhale, pulling our pelvis under, belly button over pelvis, and then rolling the arms up, flip the palms up to the top. Arms can look forward, and then exhaling one more time. We're going to add on to this roll. We're going to roll coming up, inhaling, arms come up to the top, and we're going to exhale our arms to the side. So we're actually creating a twist here, and then we're going to fold back forward. We're going to inhale, coming up, seated up, reaching up, exhale, hands to chest and up to the sides. Get a nice twist. Rolling back forward. Inhale, coming on up, reaching the arms up. Exhale, arms come out to the side as you twist. And rolling back down to the ground. Now one more time to the other side. Inhale, rolling up, reaching up. And then exhale, hands come to the chest and reach out to the side. And then right back to that center. This time when we inhale, we're going to reach up to the top. And then we're going to actually drop on down to open up the side body. So go ahead and inhale, roll up through the pelvic floor, keep those muscles engaged. Reach up to the top, so the shoulders are down and back. And then we're going to take the right arm and drop it down to the floor. And you're going to keep contact with the sit bones on the ground. Keep pressing through the pelvis. And then you're reaching that top arm, that top left arm, up and over your head. And as you do this, you're going to try to pull your heart open to the ceiling. So you're creating length through the side body. And to the best that you can, you want to keep the hip bone on the floor. Now, if this is too much of a stretch for you, this might be where you need to be. Or you can just bend that elbow to get some length. Great job. And we're going to exhale. Walk our hands right back to the front, coming to center. We're going to inhale, lifting up, arms come to the top, reaching, and then exhale once again, this time to the left side. And we're going to plant the pelvis on the floor, push the sit bones right down into the ground, and then we're going to open the chest. We're going to open the heart space, reaching that top arm above head. One more breath here. And exhale, you're going to roll around. Hands come right in front. And roll up one more time. This time as we roll up, our arms are going to come up above head. And then we're going to take the feet and kick them out right in front of us. We're going to exhale, lower the hands to the chest and the knees, and we're going to lift right back up to that seated position. So we're going to lower the knees to the chest, and we're going to exhale, lift it all up. So my sit bones are right against the ground here. I'm keeping the pelvis engaged. I'm holding my tummy in, my lower belly. Dropping the knees once again, and hands come to chest. And one more time, inhaling up, the legs come up. Exhale right down to center. Feet come together. And we're going to open them up like a book, sitting nice and tall. Body feels center. We're going to take the knees, close them up, and then we're going to just roll that back one vertebrae at a time. Slowly rolling down. You may feel some cracks and pops when you do this. Just one vertebrae at a time. Nice, slow movement. Now we're going to take the feet about shoulder width apart, and we're going to press up into bridge pose. So you're going to drive through your heels and squeeze from the glutes, the space in front of the thighs. You're going to be opening up that space. So you're driving the hips forward. You're taking the pelvis and you're rotating it forward. So you have to engage those muscles in the glutes. And then we're going to pick up the toes so they're free floating off the earth. And then we're going to just sway in this position. We're going to rock side to side. Just loosening up the body, being a little playful with the movement and keeping the breath in mind. We're still breathing through this. And then take those hips, hold center. And then I want you to focus on lowering the vertebrae one at a time, making contact with the floor. As you exhale, the last to touch is the top of the sacrum. And then we're going to, once that happens, I want you to rotate the pelvis and then once again tuck it. Drive the hips up as you press through the heels. You should feel that rotation. And then slowly roll down one vertebrae at a time. And once again, last to touch in the pelvis. We're going to rock it forward. And nice job. Take the knees, bend them right up to the chest. We're going to roll side to side, giving yourself a nice little back massage. Then we're going to start to rock forward and back. Making our way all the way up to a ragdoll position, so you're getting momentum by rocking forward, and then you're going to step right through to a ragdoll position. So I'm not holding anything here. I'm not trying to straighten the legs. I'm releasing the neck. I'm like making myself feel like a jello ball. Just releasing, relaxing. I feel loose everywhere. And now I'm going to lift the toes up off the floor. I'm going to spread my toes as far as I can. Spread them. Make contact with the floor. Feel that groundedness. Then with the hands, we're going to press off the floor and slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time, zipping up through the legs, squeezing through the inside of the body. And then as you inhale, you're going to raise your arms up, hands come towards ears. And that strong pose, we're going to go ahead and sit into Uttanasana and then fold right forward. And one more time, spreading the toes, making contact with the floor. We're going to inhale, slowly rising up, zipping through the inner thighs, taking the pelvis under. It's like a body roll. And then arms drag up to the pits, and then you reach forward. One more time. Sit in a chair pose. Reach your hands back. We're going to take the left leg, step it back. And then we're going to ground down through that left leg. So you're going to take that leg, put it out to about a 45-degree angle, and the right leg still points forward. So in this position, I'm going to start to squeeze my inner thighs together. It's like I'm like zipping my legs up in this position. And as I do that, I'm going to come up to a warrior two position. So my belly button is right over the pelvis and my hips are tucked. I'm engaged through the core, through the pelvic floor. And then I'm going to exhale, reach the arms out. And the eyes are going to look over the fingertips in this position. We're going to inhale, come on up, straighten up that right leg. And exhale, I just want you to try to get a little deeper into that pose. Sinking deeper into that pose and just breathing. And one more time, inhale, extend the front leg, and exhale, dive a little deeper, making sure that the ankle and knee is in line, that the knee is not tracking over the front foot, and the heart is open. This time we're going to take that left arm back behind our body. The right arm's going to come up our side body and then reach overhead. So you're feeling that nice opening and that stretch in that side body. And then exhale, we're going to reverse it. Take the right arm to the right leg. And same thing, fingertips drape up the body and then extend, keeping the heart open in this comfortable space, remembering to breathe. And we're going to do that one more time. So take the left fingertips, drop back down the body, pulling through the core, through the abdominal muscles, and then your fingertips of the left or right hand are going to drape all the way back up into reverse warrior. Exhale, coming forward. Right arm comes to the right leg. Left fingertips drip up the body and then extend towards the ceiling, opening up towards the chest. And then we're going to cartwheel the arms right back down to the frame, the right foot. Square up the toes. And then we're going to step the right leg right back into a plank position. In that plank position, I'm going to roll my body forward, engaging the core, and then I'm going to choose either to come to my knees and lower my body, or just lower the body. It's up to you. In this position, I'm going to take my toes, drop them right down to the ground, and just as we practiced in the bridge, I want to take
my pelvis and tilt it up. And then I want you to engage through the core, tighten the glutes, and then tilt it back. And then repeat that one more time. So lift, and then squeeze and tighten and lower. You're just prepping the body for that upward facing dog. So with that in mind, I want you to think of activating through the pelvic floor, engaging the psoas muscles, and then lifting to come to an upward facing dog. And then exhale to lower. So the goal of the upward dog isn't just to push yourself into the shape or to compress the spine. We want to increase our length in our spine. So it's kind of like a wave with the body, starting with the lower body and then squeezing through the legs and zipping up, through the pelvic floor, through the core, and then I'm pressing through the upper body, and I'm keeping that length the whole time. Exhale, very good. Curl those toes under. We're going to press ourselves up back to our knees, and then drive the weight back towards our heels into downward facing dog. In this downward dog, I want you to come up onto all of your fingertips. So it's like you got like, I don't know, Spider-Man? I don't know. So you're clawing the top of the mat. And then I slowly want you to let your fingertips come to meet the mat. So the pads of your hands are still lifted. And then I want you to slowly drop the pads of the hands off the mat. So your fingers are very engaged here. Your biceps are spiraling forward, and then your hips, pelvis is reaching up, so your heart is sinking back. So you have one straight line of energy here. We're going to inhale, look up towards our hands. You have an option to step or hop up. I'm going to step. Once again to a rising dog position. And then rolling up, zipping up through the legs, tucking the pelvis, one vertebrae at a time, fingertips trickle up the body, and then lift up towards the center. And then we're going to surrender to this pose, so having a seat, and then reaching back down. This time we're going to take the left leg, stepping it back. The right leg, we just did left. And we're going to ground that right foot down, so turn it out about a 45-degree angle. Left foot still faces forward. And once again, we're thinking of tightening between the legs. So that's going to force you to engage the pelvic floor, engage those muscles. And then with strength and control, we're rising up, and then we're going to find that warrior two position. So arms are going to look over the fingertips. And you remember your breath. And we're going to inhale, straighten out that left leg. And exhale, bend the left leg and sink a little bit deeper this time. Keeping our strength here, keeping our glutes engaged, keeping our heart at the center of our mind, opening up. And then one more time. Inhale, straightening the left leg, and exhaling, reaching forward. And we're going to take it to the reverse warrior. So we're going to drop the right arm to the right leg, and the left arm is going to trickle up towards our body and then reach above our head. And while we're in this position, we're thinking about opening the chest, opening the heart, finding length. We're going to exhale, left hand comes to left leg, right arm comes up above head, and opening up through that body, keeping the lower body engaged. One more time. Inhale, coming up. Exhaling, finding comfort in the pose. Inhale, coming up, setting the left hand on the left leg. Right arm reaches over for that extended side angle. Good job. And we're going to curl our arms down, turning our toes towards the front. Arms are framing that front foot. And then we're going to step our left leg right back into plank. And then we're going to take our right hip and drop it to the side and slowly raise that arm, the left arm up. So we're doing it to our side plank. Now if you need to make this easier, you can always drop that right leg for this pose. Or if you're looking for a little bit more of a challenge, you can always choose to raise the left leg. And we're going to exhale, bringing both hands to the mat, sweeping the hips forward, pulling the shoulders over the wrists, slowly lowering down, going through our vinyasa, pressing ourselves up, looking for length, engaging through the whole body. And then we're going to exhale, press ourselves up into downward facing dog. If you need to do the hand position where you claw through the mat, starting on your fingertips, you can go ahead and do so. And then we're going to slowly roll ourselves right back in that plank position, and this time rolling our hip to the left side and then raising our right arm up. Once again, you have that choice. If this position is too challenging for you, to go ahead and drop that leg, still lift through the side body. Or if you're looking for more of a challenge, you can always lift the right leg up wherever is comfortable for you. 2 more breaths here. And exhale, put the hand right to the ground, rolling the body forward, tucking the tailbone in, and slowly lowering yourself to the ground. So we've already warmed up our body for that back bend. So we're going to work on that a little bit more here. So our forehead is going to be nearly touching the floor for this position. Our hands are right at our sides, about chest height. So we start by tucking the pelvis and then squeezing through that lower body. It's like the energy moves up inside of our body, and then pressing through the palms, and then just lower back down. And again, we're going to try that. Inhale, lifting up. Getting a nice stretch to that lower back. Not compressing or crunching the spine. We're just starting to work it, get ready for a back bend position. And we're going to take our toes, face them under, and then just press ourselves to a nice, relaxing downward, child's pose. And I'm going to take my arms right up to the side before we start to work on our back bends. Two more breaths. Alright, so we're just going to inhale, coming up, drag yourself forward, nothing too crazy in your positions, and then we're going to come towards the front of the mat. We're going to curl the toes under. We're going to start to work on that back bend position, but we want to get in correct alignment when we're not just arching our back and compressing our vertebrae here. We want to actually try to find length in this pose. And it's not done by just forcing ourselves into this shape. So here in this position, I want you to take your pelvis and tuck. All right, so you're pouring your belly button into your spine. And then we're just going to, as far back as you can go, inhale back. And then exhale, coming forward. And inhale, we're going to reach ourselves back as far as we can go. And exhale, going forward. One more like that. So we're really working our quads here, working our glutes, forcing our muscles to really contract to keep us in that upright position.
One more time, inhale, holding our spine tight, finding length, and coming right back up. Now this time, we're going to take our hands right down. You can choose to keep it on your backside here or on your feet here. When we come up, we're going to have that same approach. So we're going to still use those same muscles here to get us into that back bend pose. So here we are. We're going to go ahead and inhale, coming up, expanding through the lungs, keeping our heart center open. And then our head can slowly work back. Now we're going to exhale, coming right back up to that position. And we're going to fold right into a child's pose.
We're going to try that again. Sinking deeper in the pose if it feels good. If you feel compression in the lower back, then maybe take it out. Don't go as far, don't reach as far back, that's okay. It's not a competition.
You're going to inhale, coming up. And in that seated position, once again, you can choose the position of your hands. If you're not going to reach all the way back for your feet, then you can just keep your hands right here and just go as far as you can, finding the length through the body, opening up the heart space. So we're going to go ahead, inhale, coming up, finding that perfect position for you. And you can slowly work on extending the head and neck. Still giving yourself support here. You should be able to breathe easily here, not letting the ribs flare forward. Engaging through the lower body. And exhale, go ahead and lift up. And fold it right back forward into child's pose. Good job. We're going to take our hips right to the right side and swing our legs around. And we're going to lower ourselves down onto our back, palms face up. Now if you have a block, this is a good time to use it. We're actually going to lift our hips up and put a block right underneath our pelvis right here. And you can choose the height if you want to go the tall way, the short way. I actually don't have a block. I use a foam roller. If you want to use a pillow here, that's an option too. Or take a blanket and fold it up. But you're going to lift the hips up and find that good position for you. And then relax that lower body. Keeping the chest open, lifting the chin up, and then just breathe here, breathing in through the nose, and out through the mouth. And into the nose, out through the mouth. And this time we're going to take the legs, and we're actually just going to lift them right up above head. And this is great for just giving your heart a rest. Instead of pumping so hard and fast and trying to get blood to the upper and lower body's extremities, we just take a rest. Let our heart have a break. So just breathe here for 5 breaths. If you want to go back to your Ujjayi breaths, then you're welcome to do that here. So you're just going to constrict through the back of the neck as you inhale and as you exhale. This is a really relaxing pose. Just surrender to it. Allow your body to kind of melt right into the floor.
And we're going to take the legs and lower them back down to the ground. Lift your hips up, pull that black out from outside of you, or pillow or blanket, wherever you're using. We're going to take the legs, drop the knees out to the sides, stretching out the inner thighs. Nice stretch here. We're going to take the knees together and then we're going to slowly windshield wiper the legs all the way back down to a straight leg position. You're going to windshield wiper side to side and a nice stretch through the glutes, through the hips, IT bands. Just let those muscles relax as you drop it side to side until you come to that straight. Legs are fully straightened. And you're going to take the toes, they're going to fall out to the sides. Palms are going to face up. And you're in your final pose for this yoga session today, Shavasana. You found it. And in this space, it's about finding rest. It's about connecting with yourself, allowing the to-do list to go, allowing the time frames and the places to be, let them go. They don't serve you in this practice. They don't serve you on a day-to-day basis. Knowing that the quiet, the calm, the silence is where you can find yourself. Where you take care of yourself. A healthy mind will feed the body. And through yoga you can find this place of rest and awareness. So just take a couple more breaths here on your own. I'm going to stop talking. And you can just start to let your body sink into the floor. Now send your hands, start to wiggle the toes, bring awareness to your feet and your hands, move your fingers around, and start to wake up that lower body. You're going to take the knees up, curl to the side, and then just go ahead and fold your right side. Arms going to come up her head to rest. Take a moment to pause here, find your breath once again. Inhaling and exhaling, just making note that your breath is what brings life into us. It's the first thing we get when we come out of the womb. It's the last thing before we take our last breath. And our life here on earth. So really appreciate it, bring awareness to it. Have gratitude for your breath and the strength that it has and how it can help control your emotions and control your feelings and bring you to a place of peace, relaxation. And go ahead and press up with that left hand to a seated position. I'm so happy to have an opportunity to work with you and go on this journey, finding awareness within our body and using our bodies to move in a way that brings us energy and brings us life.
about your day in peace and awareness, and think of your breath as a way that moves you and propels you throughout your day. Namaste.